Alright, I got this plastic sheet material from Amazon, XLNT Tech. I don't remember, I think it was like 12 pieces, different colors. I'm gonna try and engrave something with the Shark ST100. I haven't done this yet. I think I'll use this little engraving bit there in the front, see how that works. I made up a little sign I'm gonna try to engrave, so let's see how it goes. All right, I put a piece of tape where I think the middle is. Let's try to reference the middle. That's where I start the reference point. See if we can get this lined up. And then I'll just take that tape off. Yep, right there. And I'll put a double-sided piece of tape. I use this GolfWorks grip tape for putting grips on golf clubs. I used to use it when I worked at Golfsmith building golf clubs. Seems like it's a good application for this. Keep it from moving around. Problem is it's kind of expensive. Let's see. So peel the back off. And I have the middle of my bed marked here, so that's where I always try to put the center, and then I just line the edges up with these slots, try and get it as square as possible. Looks pretty good. Close enough for government work. Okay, so I made this fraction to decimal chart that I found today, and I've never done engraving before on plastic, and I'm going to attempt to run this for the first time. And I always count on the fact that I'm going to ruin a couple pieces before I get it figured out. I've never had anything work on the first try, so we'll see how this goes. I got the engraving bit there. I'm going to zero it and try and run this file on Ready to Control. I always have something in the way that ruins it. That's happened a couple times. It's always something. So I like to get it close to X and Y 0. I put it on step. Get it close. Let's see. That's close enough, so I'll 0x. 0x. And I'll 0y. And I have this touch plate now, so I'll 0z with touch plate. And that brings up this box telling me to touch. Oops, I need to go up first. So now it wants me to touch the touch plate to the bit. When I do that, then it prompts me to go ahead and hit next. Okay, so that's zeroed and close. But it just occurred to me, as close as the tolerance is on this carve, I bet you that piece of tape makes a difference. So I'm going to take the tape off and re-zero it. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time without the tape. That would have been my mistake for... I always hold it down there tight too, because sometimes this thing wants to sit up a little bit higher. Okay. Zeroed. Take the collet off. There's that. I think I'm ready to go. Okay, so I'm sitting here thinking, I'm trying to figure out what the issue will be, because like I said, there's always something that goes wrong. I'm trying to anticipate. Everything looks good there. I'm zeroed. Will the bit blow right through the workpiece? Will it not cut through at all? We'll find out in just 1 second. Turn on the router. Press play. See what happens. Not cutting anything at all. So we're not cutting at all. The bit isn't even touching the workpiece. So we'll see. I guess that's better than it blowing right through it. Okay, so this is a new one for me. I've never seen it before, but like I said, I always learn something new. That's the touch plate. I just flipped it over. When I tried to zero it before, I had it sitting like that. And the way that that plug is won't let it sit flat. So I re-zeroed. Let's see if that fixes it. Aha! I knew it. Okay. Just figured out what's wrong. I don't have the bit sticking out far enough to even touch the piece. That's why I gotta readjust that bit in the router. See what happens. Okay, I loosened the bit, re-zeroed Z again, brought the bit down. Let's see if I can make it work for the third time. That bit might be a little wide for what I'm doing now. We'll let it run, see what happens. Okay, so those numbers, that bit turned out to be too big for those numbers the way I had it. So I redid one part of the file and I've changed to my V-bit, which I think is more narrow. I'm going to attempt to run it with the V-bit to see how that works. Let's see how it goes. So it started out pretty good, and for whatever reason down there, we're starting to lose it. I just noticed, wondering why I was peeling so much. I guess there is plastic coating on this that I didn't take off. And again, I have a feeling that makes a difference on the tolerance of that number, because it looks like it's, for whatever reason, it's skipping. So let me try something else. Okay, well that worked fairly well. That one looks pretty good. That conversion chart text, I don't know if that'll clean up or not, but I think we're getting close. Okay, so I destroyed one piece like I always do. I got another piece loaded. Plastic is taken off, zeroed, everything zeroed out. V-bit's loaded. Let's try this and see if I can actually make one that works. So here's my end result. Started out pretty good. Thought I was gonna have an actual good piece, and then you can see right here on 7/32, it started getting light on this side, and then down here it just completely disappeared. Same on this side. So what that tells me is this material is super thin. It's like 0.040, and I'm guessing the bed of this machine isn't perfectly flat. I haven't gotten around to building a spoil board to flatten it out because I'm afraid that the router on this little table probably isn't exactly square, and I might not get something so flat. So maybe I will not be able to use thin material like this. I mean, it's pretty flexible, so any little variation, even where that tape is gonna have a difference. But I learned something, so I'll see if I can solve the problem. I think that's gonna wrap this up for today.